Don't ask about what are we going to do if we don't get a bonus. Get the damn $26 million.
In a leaked video, multi-millionaire Andi Owen, who is the CEO of the office furniture giant MillerKnoll, was caught chastising her employees for wanting a bonus after giving herself a bonus of over $1 million 2 years in a row. So I'm going to get to this video, and this video for me is not even necessarily about this CEO and this company. It's more about a broader discussion that I want to get to. But before I get to that, let me play this video. This is a fun watch because of the whole attitude and the calm nature in which she's chastising her employees here. I'm going to comment a bit on this, but let's check this out.
Questions came through about how can we stay motivated if we're not going to get a bonus? What can we do? What can we do? Some of them were nice and some of them were not so nice. So I'm going to address this head on. The most important thing we can do right now is focus on the things that we can control. None of us could have predicted COVID. None of us could have predicted supply chain. None of us could have predicted bank failures. But what we can do is stay in front of our customers, provide the best customer service we can, get our orders out our door, treat each other well, be kind, be respectful, focus on the future because it will be bright. It's not good to be in a situation we're in today, but we're not going to be here forever. It is going to get better. So lead by example, treat people well, talk to them, be kind, and get after it. Don't ask about what are we going to do if we don't get a bonus. Get the damn $26 million. Spend your time and your effort thinking about the $26 million we need and not thinking about what you're going to do if we don't get a bonus. All right? Can I get some commitment for that? I would appreciate that. I had an old boss who said to me one time, you can visit Pity City, but you can't live there. So people, leave Pity City. Let's get it done. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. It's it is something else to talk about Pity City when you yourself are a multi-millionaire and you're giving yourself bonuses. So I'll get to the specifics around that. In fact, the tweet I saw go viral about this is not actually accurate. So Andi Owen did not give herself a $6.4 million bonus, but I'll get to the breakdown in a second here. Just on, okay, again. This video for me, as I'll get to, is not necessarily about the CEO. It's really easy to make rage bait and be like, oh, look at this crazy, mean person. But there's a larger discussion here if we actually want to deal with the problem. But let's first address this video and these comments because they're so ridiculous. Why the hell do you think people work for you? Do you think they do it so they can hit your $26 million sales goal? Is that why you think people work for you? Do you think it's because they want to see the smiles on customers' faces? No, it's because they need to live. They need a home. They need food. They need hopefully some leisure time. So it's this idea that people are motivated simply by the smiles on customers' faces or your sales goals is so in your own head. Like it's so disconnected from reality that it really makes me wonder. Does Andi Owen have any idea what it's like to just have a normal job and try to survive? Because the way that she's approaching the situation here, it's as if these employees should have some undying loyalty to the company, even if they aren't paid enough or don't get their bonus. Meanwhile, she's giving herself bonuses. So, again, before I get to the larger issue here, let me just clear up the story a bit. So this from Vice. The comment, which came at the end of a meeting in which Owen discussed the industry changes, upcoming product launches, brand marketing campaigns, and so on, angered some employees, and Owen later sent a message to associates and met with leaders of the company as a result. So, of course, we don't know the goings-on and what's the internals of this company, but it sounds like she heard the complaints about what she said and, I don't know, addressed them in some way, I'm sure with some more nice language to try and cover up her real feelings in that video. But a company representative said that the clip does not show the full context of what she described as a largely positive meeting. Andi fiercely believes in this team and we all can and all we can accomplish together, and will not be dissuaded by a 90-second clip taken out of context and posted on social media. Whether or not the clip was taken out of context, what other context do you need? She was talking about bonuses, and clearly was a little angry at the questions around bonuses, and she thinks that people are motivated to make money for the company while not benefiting themselves. You don't need any more context. The context is all there. But whatever, they're defending themselves. They're gonna have their own story here. It's worth pointing out. Here we go. Here are the actual data on this. So for her work, Owen received bonuses of 1.29 million last year and 1.12 million in 2021. There's no data yet as of what's going to happen for the next fiscal year, which is 2022. But in terms of her entire compensation, so her bonus pay is folded into this. So she made $5 million, I guess, last year, which, in terms of CEOs in America is actually low, considering, what some other people are making. But I think the average pay at her company, I forget where I saw this, but it's 44,000, I think. Here we go. Median employee pay. So 44,000 at the company, which is, the not necessarily the greatest wage. But that said, when you're giving yourself a bonus, you run a company, you have to understand why employees are motivated. They're motivated by the ability to survive, to make money, to hopefully have leisure time, to hopefully have some, holiday. They're not motivated by hitting your own sales goals that are going to increase your own bonuses. But this is the larger issue I want to discuss here, because again, this is not, we're not going to solve this problem of inequality by chastising each individual CEO and then hoping they change. That's not how change happens. Change happens through power. How do workers have power? Through unions. So I know this is, if you watch my videos, you're going to hear this message a lot. But if you're just coming across this, it's important to understand the power of unions and why workers need to collectively organize if they want to have any real say over their own lives. So this from the Economic Policy Institute. Unions raise wages for both union and non-union workers. So on average, a worker covered by a union contract earns 11.2% more in wages than a peer with similar education, occupation, and experience in a non-unionized workplace in the same industry. This wage advantage is known as the union wage premium. And unions don't just help union workers, they help all of us. When union density is high, non-union workers benefit because unions effectively set broader standards, including higher wages that non-union employers must meet in order to attract and retain the workers they need and to avoid facing union organizing themselves. So the existence of unions create the conditions for other employers to raise their standards, because they understand, hey, if we don't do that, we may also face a union drive. And regardless, they should face them anyways. Workers should have a say over their lives regardless of the situation they're in. But that said, the data supports this. So I've shown this, again, if you watch my videos, I've shown this a million times now, but it's important to hammer this home. As union membership declines, income inequality increases. So this is for everyone. This isn't just for people that are in unions. But as membership in unions decline, share of income going to the top 10% overall increases. So the existence of unions, as you see here, the height of it in the 50s, that is where we had the most equality, was when there were a lot more unions. This is a direct connection here. And again, it's because this is the only way workers have any power, is through organizing. Otherwise, those at the top are going to, give themselves all the bonuses, all the money. And so there's, a lot of data on this. I usually show the Economic Policy Institute because they're pretty good at this, but I'll also show you recent report from the Senate about a year ago. So feel the benefit. Union workers receive far better pay and rights, Congress finds. So study shows unionized workers earn 10.2% more than non-union peers. So a similar figure to the 11.2% in the EPI piece here. But more on this from the report. So unionization boosts wages for workers industry-wide, even if their workplaces are not unionized. Unionized workers earn 10.2% more than their non-union peers, while also raising wages and benefits for all workers in their industry. Unions can play a critical role in narrowing racial and gender economic disparities. Unionization increases wages by 17.3% for Black workers and 23.1% for Latino workers. And last thing on this, people are waking up to this reality. So we are now in a era where we are seeing the highest support ever for unions, at least since the 1960s. So this is continuing to increase. It's now at 71% as of last year in support of labor unions. I think we're going to keep seeing this as we're seeing high profile cases like whether it's Amazon or Starbucks. We're going to keep seeing the support for unions. And this is how you deal with these sorts of, greedy CEOs. Again, shaming people, especially wealthy people who are very powerful, shaming them to do the right thing. Has that ever worked? Maybe okay. Bernie has shamed Jeff Bezos, and Amazon raised their pay a little bit. So maybe in some cases around the edges it works. But you're not going to set any new standards industry-wide without the power of workers organizing.